Welcome to the PHLY Eagles podcast presented by Dudat Dental. I am Rich Hofmann. I am here with Jamie Lynch, hanging out with you on a Tuesday.
This orange, Rich, is very, very bright with the lights on.
We are
popping.
We are popping with our new shirts. So, guys, if you want to go to the ALLCITY store, check out the new Philly collection, where you have a bunch of nice T-shirts. I think that Iverson step over.
As soon as I saw that, I regretted my decision a little bit.
That's a wonderful shirt. Yeah. But I like the Spectrum themed ones.
I am a sucker for the Spectrum color pattern. Like anytime I'm in.
Did you know who? We were just talking about something like this, so let's bring it up. Do you know who played the last show at the Spectrum?
I do. I was there.
Oh, you were?
Yes, and Eddie Vedder slipped on a red wine bottle as his pal Raul Ibanez across the street was playing in a World Series.
Oh, yeah. I was about to bring that up because it was in October 2009.
Yes, so it was a cross. I believe it was Flyers were also playing that night. So it was Pearl Jam at the Spectrum, Flyers or Sixers at the Wells Fargo.
All due respect, who cares?
And yes, and a Phillies World Series game. It was up there, top 3 tailgate of all time. It was awesome.
You know, I actually think that was the night. Was that game 3? I
think it was because Eddie was on the mic giving updates of the game.
And it wasn't a good game. It was the game where A-Rod hit the hit the camera in right field.
So like I was checking the phone a lot, but like cell service back then wasn't what it is now. So it like wasn't quite as easy with that many people in the building. So Eddie was giving updates on the mic. So yeah,
that's sick. You know who's never heard of Pearl Jam?
Zach Berman.
Our friend Zach Berman. just a little indie band called Pearl Jam. Anyway, thought that was pretty funny.
It was. But the shirts are great. All the new merch is out today. The Philly collection. You can head to allphly.com to check it out. You've seen the staff all wearing different varieties of shirts today. You got the throwback Iverson era.
Sure.
Sixers PHLY.
We got it in gray. I think we got it in black. If you really want to fully put on the old Sixers jerseys. Yeah. So we got a bunch of good stuff in there. Go check it out. The Philly collection. I believe also too the deal. You know, if you want to sign up to become a diehard, you can get one of those shirts with your purchase. It is included. So go check that out. All right, James. So we are now 1 week away.
I know.
This is the last week of non-Eagles football until, let's say, mid-February, I think, right? That's the plan.
I think they're going back. We were filling out the schedule yesterday of preseason football games, and I believe it's August 7th is the first one. It's like going to be here in a blink of an eye.
So they will report to the NovaCare complex a week from today. It's not the same as when they used to report to Lehigh because they actually had to go live in the dorms.
Did you make the voyage up to Lehigh? Because that used to be a big Lynch family outing. Dad would take me and my sister. We did it a lot, and I do miss it. I can't lie. I thought it was awesome.
So how many years did you go up?
It wasn't every year, but we probably went I went with my dad probably at least 6 times. I would say my sister and I did like the family trip together, probably 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But I probably did at least 5 or 6. I loved it.
It was just a one-day trip? And
go up, grab some lunch.
2 practices maybe?
Catch the morning practice, go out and grab like a quick bite in town, go back for the afternoon. My dad had a very strong patience, would allow me to like wait in the autograph stuff and try and take pictures and all that. It was great. So I miss it.
So I got to say, you think of the back in my day element of, the Oklahoma drill and Chuck Bednarik, smoking a cig on the sidelines.
Back when men were men.
I got to say, there's probably going to be a back in my day element. I'm going to give you a perfect example of somebody who can probably feel that way right now. And that's Andy Reid, even though he has certainly adapted to the times and his offense has stood the test of time. Also helps he's got a pretty good quarterback over there. But, I mean, he used to run some very tough two-a-day practices where, it would be super hot out there at Lehigh. It would be 2 a day. One of the practices they were hitting like most of the days. And I remember, so my dad used to cover the team. He used to be like, man, it's crazy how much they hit. And this is 15 years ago. This is like not that long ago.
No, it really isn't.
This is like when Deshaun Jackson was on the team.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, they would just hit like crazy. And it's a completely different ball game now. Now you show up at the practice facility, you probably drive right back to your apartment after it's over. Like what is check-in? I mean, come on, man. You probably sit and then they're like, hey, Nick's got to film his promotional speech that we're going to show on YouTube later.
Yeah.
Everybody sit in the auditorium. Then you can go home, and then we'll actually start tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't say.
And we're not going to hit either.
It's better, but like I feel like obviously the players sacrificed a lot. Like I don't know how air conditioned those dorms were. You know, you bringing in the window units and the fans and all that. And I remember Hollis Thomas that one year showing up with a big box of porn and like SpongeBob like pajamas, and I was like, what is going on up here? Like. Now they're in the privacy of their own homes, and you're like, oh yeah, we don't like see like the walk-in and like what guys would carry into their dorm rooms to survive. You know, PlayStation 2 was probably
PlayStation 2
brand
was
new
a
at the
big
time.
era, yeah. You know? They were playing Grand Theft Auto Vice City. The amount of times they were playing that, yeah, it was.
But there was something, I don't know. There's something, and you're right. This is like back in my day, but there was something unique about it. Like cool. I don't know if they bonded more. Who's to say, right? I'm not in that locker room. I don't know. But it seemed like it's, I don't know, a closeness, a camaraderie, like a company loves, a misery loves company type of thing
well,
to it.
Where you bond. And
you're eating your meals together. Not that they don't eat meals together, but you know what I mean.
I do think there is an element of, spending off time with your teammates that probably was beneficial. And like you said, for them, probably having worse conditions than they are used to, even though I'm sure it was perfectly fine. So they don't have that anymore. But hey, look, the Eagles locker room has survived.
They've been more successful since moving to training camp.
Certainly worked out. But it is a little bit different.
But as a fan, like that was awesome. Going up to Lehigh was awesome because it's a quick enough trip, and it was free.
You were in the autograph tent?
Once or twice I did.
Were you there when T.O. refused?
No, I don't. I think I did go to the TO camp. I have a ball at home. I'll have to tweet a picture of it. It was like signed by like 4 guys one year. I think it was like Buckhalter. Did he cross over with Rhett Hall? Do you remember Rhett Hall?
No.
Oh man. Who else was on that? James Thrash, I think, was on that. Like, back when, probably early high school days, I was like, I'll grab a ball and get it signed. And they had the merch tent and all that. It was great, man. I oddly miss Lehigh more than I should.
Yeah. Carell Buckhalter, by the way, had some juice when he wasn't hurt. And
he was awesome.
Enjoyed watching that guy play.
I believe he was one of the guys that got in trouble up in Lehigh, leaving campus one night.
Oh, God.
Smoking the doobie, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, who cares? Yeah, that's all it was. Come on.
Nothing serious.
You can do that in your home now. That's nothing. Okay, so let's move on from Carell Buckhalter's extracurricular activities to
yeah.
What you just told me makes me like him even more, too. Who cares? Who cares? So, James, I'd like to thank ESPN. It's not something I usually do.
Whoa.
But they did provide some fodder for us because we don't have a ton to talk about right now. But they did. Jeremy Fowler provided us with some good content for the offseason. And over the last few weeks, he has done the content where he basically polls a bunch of front office executives, coaches, people who work in football, and he has them anonymously rank players at every single position. Now, I'm going to start by saying that because this is a big deal in Philadelphia, and I know you touched on it a little bit yesterday, I am going to hold off on commenting on Jalen Hurts' position and being ranked behind Jared Goff and also Justin Herbert. This is Justin Herbert's Super Bowl.
Yes,
July and August.
This is his time
preseason
to shine.
rankings. I'm looking forward to watching him just fizzle out at 4 p.m. on the road in an AFC South stadium on a Saturday in the playoffs.
3:30 game.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to hold off on that because in terms of, I've been doing the offseason content game a lot, and a guy who I used to work with, Mike Sando, I feel like he is the gold standard of specifically ranking quarterbacks. He's done this exercise for years in terms of ranking QBs. I feel like that is the best list. He's been doing it for a long time. So I'm going to wait until his rankings come out.
When training camp starts, does
I don't
it
know.
typically drop?
It's at some point in the next 6 weeks.
Okay.
And it typically turns into a big talking point. Now, I know Jeremy Fowler did it yesterday, but I'm going to hold off because if Jalen Hurts is a little bit higher in Mike Sando's rankings, then sure. I will be happier. But Jeremy Fowler does a good job, and he ranks every single position. He polls for every spot. So ESPN, they get, I will give them credit. They get 2 weeks of content, and we get 1 day to talk about all this stuff. Because, guys, if you haven't heard, the Eagles have a pretty good roster. They've done pretty well on these rankings. And so let's start with a couple of these guys, because I think it's good, at least going into the season, to get a feel where they stand like around the league, right? It's not just like this guy's good, this guy's bad, they're weak here, they're strong. It's like, where do they actually rank at this spot? And so it started out with Jeremy Fowler, his execs and all of his football people at the running back position. Numero uno, Saquon Barkley. And I think that is richly deserved. But I also think, in looking at where Christian McCaffrey ranks and a bunch of these other guys, it's also a pretty tenuous position, I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty easy to lose that spot year over year. He's in the first spot. Derrick Henry is in the second spot. So let me ask you a question, James. Let's say if we're doing this pod again a year from now, and it'll be as remembered as our defensive snaps draft too. It's a flagship.
That was fun to look back on.
Killed it, man.
Yeah.
I smoked you guys.
Yeah, you did. You had a real impressive showing. I had a couple swings and misses there.
I didn't remember it all year, but
who was the linebacker from Tampa? Devin White. Yeah, I took him. That was
yeah.
Not good to be cut, prior to week one, more or less.
I mean, I probably would have picked him before Zach Bond too. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, so Saquon Barkley, number one. Let me ask a question. If we're doing this pod at the same time next year, where do you think, if he is a top what player, what would you consider kind of a successful repeat sort of season, right? Because
top 5?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't look. He just had maybe arguably the greatest running back season in NFL history. I think there's a natural drop off. One, they probably want to preserve him a little bit. They probably don't want to pound the rock with him as much just to preserve him for playoff meaningful football. 2, the natural drop off element. Even if he has a drop off, what's that? 1,600 yards. He got tackled at the 1 yard line, I think 11 times last year, something like that. So the touchdowns, I would imagine, probably get better. The yards probably get worse, but as long as he's healthy come playoff time, that's a big success. So as long as he's top 5, I don't really mind where he falls on the list. I think him and Derrick Henry are the two sure things of this, and then everything else is pretty malleable.
I hope it's a situation where, okay, maybe his yards decrease because maybe the NZB's been talking about this for a while, that the passing game is clicking more this year.
Yeah.
Right? And Jalen's throwing the ball more. And that's not just to diversify the offense. It's also to give Saquon a little bit of a rest. It would be nice if, let's say, his yards are down, right? Come on. I mean, asking for 2,000 yards again, it's only happened 9 times, right? So that's not going to happen again, most likely. I mean, hey, look, if it happens again, wow. I mean, we'll just have Saquon Day.
Then just put him in Canton, yeah.
We'll just have like every show at PHLY one day. We'll just be talking Saquon. It'd be like Flyer show, Saquon. Philly show, Saquon.
What if Saquon was on skates? Yeah. What if Saquon was hooping?
Give him a bat. Yeah.
So, Saquon could take that pitch deep.
But I hope it's a situation where, okay, maybe he gets fewer touches, hopefully a few more touchdowns, but he's efficient, right? Where they show that, okay, yeah, we're not going to rely on Saquon quite as much this year, but when we give him the ball, he's still as dynamic as ever. It's been interesting listening to some of his comments during the OTAs and minicamp as well. He's talked about how he's looked at McCaffrey and Derrick Henry and some of the other top running backs, and he sees them, his brain, he sees them like running up hills, and he's like, man, I got to work harder than them. I got to do that. But people around the Eagles and his friends and a bunch of people have said, man, you need to sit your butt down for this offseason. Like, as much as you think getting faster and stronger and all of that stuff matters, and it does, a big part of that is resting because you carried such a major workload this whole season.
Yeah. I mean, I think as long as he's playing healthy playoff football, I almost don't care what the results are. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to play. The goal is stay healthy for the playoffs. This is a war of attrition. I don't really care what his yards are. I've seen what he can do. I've seen the home run. What did he have? 7 touchdown runs of explosive plays.
As much volume as there was, he did have us. He did have us covered in terms of like looking dynamic when he had the ball.
Yeah,
he had more longer touchdown runs than basically anybody.
Just give me a couple of those to remind me of the old times, and I'm perfectly fine with less yardage. I wouldn't mind seeing a little more RB2 this year. Will Shipley or whoever, just to preserve them, because I think there's a lot of credit owed to the Eagles for how healthy they usually are in the playoffs. And, if it means putting Saquon occasionally in some bubble wrap when games are out of touch, please. You achieved a 2,000-yard season. You've been to the mountaintop in terms of individual stats. Just keep him healthy.
Yeah. And by the way, maybe next year in the Super Bowl, the passing attack has just been crazy the entire year. And people are selling out. They're doubling A.J. Brown. They're doubling Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
And then they just hand the ball to Saquon. And he has an MVP level performance in the Super Bowl.
By the way, if Christian McCaffrey's 5, it's kind of a...
Yeah, that wasn't too big of
a flimsy state of affairs for the running backs, isn't it?
That isn't too big of a drop for a guy who was MIA.
Yeah.
Last year.
Josh Jacobs, 6. Jonathan Taylor, 7. Cook, 8.
I feel like he'll stay there. Okay. I think look, we know Saquon is good. He's number one. But I think part of the importance, and we'll do one more before the break here, and that is defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Where do you think Jalen Carter ranks?
I saw this one because me and Zach talked about it briefly last Friday. He comes in 3rd, which I think is fair considering the 2 ahead of him are absolute world beaters.
Dexter Lawrence and Chris Jones are the 2.
I think there is a situation where if we're doing this show a year from now, Rich,
he could be one.
He can absolutely be one.
100%.
He was right on Chris Jones, I believe, in terms of sacks and tackles for loss, more or less. Dexter Lawrence, I think, was up at 9.5 sacks last year. So Dexter Lawrence kind of raised that bar a little. I don't want to say too high for defensive tackles because we have seen Aaron Donald play football before.
What a great player just playing on just a complete slop team besides him.
Yeah, that defensive line for the Giants is nasty.
But he's a monster.
He's an absolute beast. That Giants defensive line is nasty. It's just the team is a disaster.
Do you think Giants podcasts just talk about Dexter Lawrence for the entire week, if they have that?
Well, yesterday they were given the Jackson Dart throwing the football to the guy on the jet ski video.
Yeah.
So my Giants buddies from college were basically like,
wow.
Look out. You guys are on notice. He did the jet ski toss.
Look at this guy.
Yeah. So Jackson with an X, big TikTok trend yesterday, hitting the guy on the wave runner. So they're all excited up there.
When he stinks, when he's throwing picks to Quinyon Mitchell later in this year, we'll say, man, but at least he hits guys on the jet skis, right?
Yeah, he seems like a real bro. I can't wait to root against him.
Sure. So Jalen Carter is 3rd, and what Fowler mentions in the piece, and I think this is something that's good for the Eagles, because sometimes we think of top 10, and it's like, all right, 10's a round number. If anybody in the top 10, that's a great outcome for a player. And I think that largely is true, but sometimes there are tiers within that top 10. It's a big thing in the NBA with me. People are always like top 30 player. I'm like, man, being a top 5 player is such a difference between a top 10 player in the NBA. So anyway, I think that's the case with a lot of these positions. And Jeremy Fowler basically says it's a tier of 3. So Jalen Carter is in that top tier.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so fine. He gets voted a little bit below Chris Jones and Dexter Lawrence, but they have him in that top tier, and they say, there's actually a pretty big drop-off after this. These guys are the real game wreckers, the guys who were the true top defensive tackles. There are only 3 of them, and Jalen Carter is already there.
And he's the youngest by far. So there's a real scenario where he's number 1 of this top-tier list in the next year or 2. He's going to get paid like it next year when he probably makes, $42 to $45 million a year. But he's earned it. He's an absolute game wrecker and a beast. So I'm looking forward to where he falls on this list. It'll be nice to have an Eagles defensive tackle up at the top of the list for sure, as I get some spam calls.
I know I'm backtracking here. Jackson Dart, what is it with the Giants and boats? Was he wearing Tim's on that boat?
Let me get the video to Julia. I will find it.
Is he going to go to Miami on the week off, or not even the week off, on the Monday of the playoff week, and then get their butts kicked in Green Bay?
Oh yeah, here it is. I'll get it to Julia so all the people can see Jackson Dart. This is peak Giants offseason content. They are.
Their franchise it was already bad, but it completely fell apart after that Odell Beckham pick with all the guys on the boat before the playoff game. They have been absolutely dreadful since then. So yeah, I hope there's a little PTSD
I just sent it to Julie.
In that.
That was very funny that boat pick in Miami broke the Giants.
Yeah.
The next 4 years, it just got worse and worse and worse. It was very funny. I enjoy their suffering a lot. I went to college with a lot of New Yorkers.
What do you think they should do to change the?
And
I went to.
And it was peak Eli year, so it was awful. I hate Giants fans.
Say it all the time. Was in school for 4 of the 5 years when they won the 2 Super Bowls 5 years apart.
And you were in the belly of the beast.
Absolutely awful. They also were not a good team back then. They just got lucky. You know,
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that a little bit with the best teams of the last 25 years. There's some more content we are taking for today. But yeah, I always tell my Giants fan friends now, because they suck and they really talked a lot of smack to me during those years.
Yeah.
I was like, just so you guys know, like, your teams were bad. Like, this is what real Super Bowl teams look like.
Eli's probably the luckiest quarterback ever.
Ever.
And he's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day, and I'm not
Easily going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm not going to fight it,
So
but like,
the problem with Eli is, again, not a very good quarterback. I think it's crazy that like he's basically automatically going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I really like him as a guy.
he is very enjoyable
I
as a
enjoy
dude.
him. He's funny.
Yeah.
I enjoy him.
I enjoy the Manning cast. That undercover quarterback thing he did at Penn State was kind of funny. I think they're making that into a show, if I'm not mistaken.
We need to talk about that for a second.
Okay.
So that show, do you know who's basically taking Eli Manning's role as the undercover quarterback?
It's that Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell.
How the hell did
is
they-
Glenn Powell's agent like asleep at the wheel? Glenn Powell did Top Gun.
Yeah.
He did all of these
He's at, like,
big
the height of his
movies.
game.
He is like basically the next big actor, and you're making him do the Eli Manning. Like, I feel like
They must have thrown the bag at him, right?
Will Smith and Tom Cruise, like, they're like, what is this guy doing? Other past like legit movie stars. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Is going to be like a Peacock exclusive or something, I think? I don't even know where it is, but Eli made it funny.
Is
now
it going to just be on YouTube? Like, what is going on? Glenn Powell, you're like a leading man. You're like a box office guy
Sydney
now.
Sweeney like ruined her like engagement because
What
of you.
is going on?
Yeah.
And now you're reprising Eli Manning's role.
That is funny.
They think it's going to be like the next Ted Lasso or something. What's going on?
Isn't Ted Lasso coming back?
I don't know.
I think I heard something about like it might be.
CDP said it. His name is Chad Powers. Is the
Powers,
fictional
yes.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's on Hulu according to Polar Jam. Thank you, Polar Jam.
Okay. So yeah, there was some disrespect for Chad Powers, but you know,
But Eli he's a funny dude.
I liked when Eli Manning played the role. I think that's good.
He's a goof. I do like him.
Like that. Okay. So let's take our first break, and then we will get into a few more of the positions where the Eagles do fare pretty well. Guys, branded bills. Whether you need snapback hats, truckers, fitteds, beanies, or tees, Branded Bills has you covered with performance and styles. I mean, Jamie and I were looking at some of their hats before the
Their
show.
hats are sweet.
They are some sweet hats, man. And if you guys are looking for some gear to make your brand stand apart from the crowd, Branded Bills has you covered with the best custom headwear. Start your order, and their dedicated team will help you create the exact custom apparel you need. My friends and I were actually looking at this. We do a fake golf tournament every year, and we were thinking
nice.
about maybe getting some hats from Branded Bills. And they will hook you up. They also have a partnership with Penn State. So for those of you Penn State fans, I know there are a lot of people who root for the Nittany Lions on Saturday and the Birds on Sunday. Penn State is a big part of their campus collection. Guys, head over to brandedbills.com and use code BBPHLY, Branded Bills, PHLY, BBPHLY, for 15% off your first order.
All right, friend, here's an impression of me from yesterday.
Okay.
That's me walking into my house, sweating like a pig because it is feeling like a sauna in there.
Yeah, I mean, you know how it is. This time of year, this Philly heat, it's no joke.
So what do I do? Do I go jump in a lake? It's not going to happen. So I just got a bunch of ice, like held it, rubbed it on my face, stuffed it down my shirt, stuffed it down my pants. Only way I could think to cool down.
I mean, stop being the stereotypical dad, though. Like, turn on the AC. It's time to fire that thing up.
I don't want to be. I want to waste money. Be energy efficient.
Well, look, instead of icing yourself out or jumping into a lake, you could just check out Pico's energy-saving rebates. They've got deals on Energy Star cooling equipment that actually work and cut down on your bills.
So, no more ice down my pants.
No, you could skip the ice, save the ice, and you throw in my drinks when I come over.
The same ice?
No, we'll change the ice up.
Okay, fine. That's what's up.
All right, well, just head over to pico.com/ways to save. They've got tips for everything: heating, cooling, lighting, you name it.
And we're back. Thank you to Bo and Fran for helping us out there.
That's a spot that will probably live in my brain forever.
Yeah.
And Bo offering Fran pants ice in his drink.
Bo's been doing some work when he's out. That Ospreys video, wow, terrific stuff.
And it's live on the site.
What an inspired choice.
We should remind the people. August 6th.
August 6th at the Hard Rock Cafe.
We're taking back the Hard Rock, Rich.
Look, sometimes when your local monuments get run over by invading hordes of people, you got to fight back. You can't wallow in self-pity.
No.
Sometimes you have to build it back better.
Yeah.
So head on over to our site and let's show Tailgate Ted that we do not tolerate bullying in Philadelphia.
Tailgate Ted.
Love Tailgate Ted. Just like him. He didn't have a solo cup, but he was like, we took over Philly.
We did it. They said we couldn't do it. We're here in the heart of Philadelphia.
We're gonna give up 55 points tomorrow.
What an embarrassing scene. Like, I know Eagles fans get the reputation of a lot, but like, you'll never see us doing a Padres, like that's what's in video. You'll never see us doing a Tailgate Ted situation. We have some self-respect here.
We've had a couple people. I have seen on TikTok some videos.
Oh, there was a New Orleans like rap video once I saw.
There's some questionable ones. Now, I think the good news is that the opposing fan bases don't make them go viral. Like, I'm embarrassed when I see them. But like, look, when Tailgate Ted, when that comes across our screen, like he's going to be the most He's going to be the most famous guy in Philadelphia, just like that Padres song as well. So look, we're just built different in terms of laughing. Laughing at these people. Let's be 100%.
And Foltz, final out wants to know in the chat: are the shirts live? The live pre-orders happening now. They should be shipping in the very near future. So yeah, you can check out the shirts on the site.
And you can get them in black as well. If you want
different colors.
If you want the actual retro Sixers one, but we have other options for you. That's
optionality.
Yep. All right, let's get to the next position.
Oh, we have the video before we move on. Let me show you one.
Thank you,
Jackson Dart throwing bombs off the yacht yesterday. Rich,
let's take a look.
I guess he's throwing to one of his bro bras out on the jet ski, but Giants fans are pumped.
Dime, bro.
Boom.
What a toss.
Yeah.
That's sick, bro. What a dime.
It's going to be really fun to cheer against that guy. Like, everything about him. Like, the name with the X's, the hair, the way he talks, like the swag he's got. I can't
Look at his face.
I can't wait to see Jalen Carter destroy him.
What is his number? I need a custom Giants jersey with his number and Dude Perfect on the back.
Okay. It's gonna be fun to root against him.
Yeah, I
mean, it really is.
Poor
Let's see if I can find a number.
They're gonna draft a quarterback over him after they stink next year. Okay, let's get to the next position, and that is edge rusher.
Number 6 is Jackson Dart.
Number 6, Dude Perfect.
Yeah.
So the edge rusher position, Jamie, and I think this is.
I don't think I looked at the Fowler edge rusher.
Well, you didn't need to because there were no Eagles there.
Okay. That's probably why it didn't come up on my radar.
Pretty instructive in terms of what we've been talking about for the last few months. It's one of the weirdest situations where this team puts together the best 4-man pass rush I've ever seen in a Super Bowl. And I understand, like we watched this defense the entire year, so we know how much the zone defense on the back end and how good the cornerbacks, the safeties, and the linebackers too. Zach Bond, an unbelievable coverage linebacker, how interconnected they were and just how good they were at passing off routes. That's a big deal. That was a big issue for the Chiefs. That said, the front four in that Super Bowl absolutely destroyed the Kansas City Chiefs in that game. And we're sitting here 6 months later, after 5 months, whatever. I can't count.
Yeah.
We're sitting here, and it's like the biggest question mark for this Eagles team is their pass rush, and particularly the edge rusher position. Now, there's a reason why. We know the two guys that they lost, right?
Josh Sweat was phenomenal in the playoffs.
And Milton Williams was good.
And he got paid, but
thought he had a pretty easy job, but also a very good player. And, it's going to hurt to see him leave. But the edge rusher position, the way Fowler does these rankings too, Jamie, it's not just the top 10. We're going to see a couple Eagles pop up on the honorable mention. So the guys who finish, around 10 to 15. Eagles didn't have anybody there. And I would say a couple things there. It's pretty un-Eagles-like for them to not have a player there. This is usually where they are pretty strong.
Bryce Huff didn't make the cut.
He didn't make it. He's not on the Eagles anymore, but he also did not make it. It would be funny. It'd be like trolling if
Honorable mention.
they were like
Bryce Huff.
number 7, Bryce Huff.
So,
anyway, so
Nolan
that's-
Smith is the guy, right, that's going to get on this list.
That was my question. Can he get there?
Is it just top 10 and then a couple of honorable mentions? So there's maybe like 13, 14 guys mentioned.
Yeah, 15.
So I was trying to look it up real quick because I didn't give it the proper reading yesterday, but somebody on Twitter, one of these film grinders, a Fran Duffy of the world, said that they were watching all of Nolan Smith's highlights from last year or plays. And apparently he was pretty good on the left side of the line. But this person, and I forget who it is, so I can't even give them credit. And I didn't really even read it that deeply, but surface level
It's like third hand.
yeah. Basically, the breakdown was when Nolan Smith lined up on the right side, he was a one-man wrecking crew.
Do you know if that was run defense or getting to the quarterback?
That's like the deep dive. I didn't get into it. I was doing a lot of things and meant to kind of bookmark it and go back to it.
My guess is that's more as a pass rusher, which that's what matters for edge rushers.
Yes, ultimately it is. So if he can tap into that, if they can use him more primarily as an edge rusher and maybe give him some breathers on rushing downs, whatever it may be, yes, I think there is a scenario where Nolan Smith can. He took a huge leap in his sophomore year, and that's really what you're looking for. So I have a lot of hope for Nolan Smith, and I do think he can be a top, 15 edge rusher. He has the mentality of a psychopath out there. And what else could you love out of your defensive end?
Total psychopath. And so obviously he's got to recover from this tricep
An
injury.
extremely nice guy when he came in the studios.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you meet him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met him out at his car. Extremely nice guy. Like looked you in
nice
the
car?
eye. Yeah, I think it was a Land Rover or something like
nice,
that. Yeah, pretty nice. But very, very nice young man. I feel like an old man. But he was a very nice young man. He looked me in the eyes and shook my hand. But like, great kid to root for is like what I'm saying.
We started with back in my day, and you said, "How do you do, young man?"
Nice to meet you. He took his cap off when he met me. But I was like, wow, this kid's like really easy to root for. I love this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the interview on Exciting Mike
was very personable.
very good too.
Yeah.
So when I look at his season,
Do you think he's going to get there?
I don't know if he's going to have he's not the traditional edge rusher, and that the guys who top those lists. And by the way, they're phenomenal players against the run, a lot of them too. But but the guys who are the top 5 players on that list are guys who get to the quarterback.
Sure.
And Nolan Smith, Vic Fangio, he likes these guys who are more versatile players. He wants guys who are good against the run. That's why Bryce Huff didn't work, and Bryce Huff, it also didn't work just because he wasn't good. I'm kind of sick of, by the way, of people saying, it wasn't a good system for Bryce Huff. It's like, come on, man. They're playing football, man.
You're playing next to Jalen Carter.
They didn't line him up at safety. Come on. Go get the quarterback. Go not be embarrassing against the run. He couldn't do it. Oh, no, the system,
It was too much.
I don't know. Can you overcome that a little bit?
All right, we're having this conversation on July 15th, 5 years from now. We're digging deep for the July content, Rich. Is Jalyx Hunt or Nolan Smith a better defensive edge? Now, this is giving Jalyx Hunt a presumptuous, lot of credit here.
Did he have a better 5 years, or is he better 5 years from now?
Is he better 5 years from now? Which one is better? I mean, the easy answer is Nolan, right?
So I'm a little worried about how Nolan, and this is, again, I'm trying to compliment him here. I'm a little worried about how he's going to age because he's so physical and he's a smaller player. I just don't know how that's going to work. I'm pretty sure Nolan Smith's going to have a better 5 years before that, but 5 years from now, maybe Jalyx does have sort of the tools. Maybe he fills out a little bit his body. That's kind of where
because that was a crazy first year from Jalyx Hunt.
Yeah, and he showed.
I didn't expect to see him at all. And he was a major contributor in the Super Bowl.
He didn't show Nolan Smith level flashes, but he showed some pretty good stuff for a guy who was basically playing safety a couple of years ago, playing safety in the Ivy League a couple of years ago. So he was good. But so when I look at Nolan Smith, I don't know if he's ever going to rank that highly on these lists. So he has 6.5 sacks last year. That's more than I actually remembered.
Got to be a double-digit guy to be in this list, right?
But he only got over 50% of the snaps once until week 11. And then he became a starting level end. So obviously that's going to change this year. Number one, because they've lost guys. Number two, because he has certainly proven himself to be.
Do you have handy the percentage of snaps last year? Was Josh Sweat a low 70s percentage? I'm wondering what he could elevate from, or to, I should say.
He was getting like 80, 90% of the snaps at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Not for the full year, but in individual games. Like he was not just playing, he was playing a ton.
So is Nolan Smith going to be counted on for 75% of snaps
Josh
this year?
Sweat last year was only 60%.
60.
Yeah.
So 70's
Because
probably...
they wanted to keep his pitch count low because of the previous year when Sean Desai completely ran him into the ground. Like after that Dallas game the year before, Josh
What a
Sweat was like
disaster.
running in mud after that game.
That defensive coordinator position, Matt Patricia, what a disaster that was.
So I don't know if he's ever gonna make that top 10. That said, like he's just a winning player, man. Like him knocking out I think his name I have trouble pronouncing this name. Elton Jenkins, I think is his name. There's that silent G, I think, in the middle.
Leroy Jenkins.
In the middle. No, Elton Jenkins. He's the guard for the Packers. He is a top 10
He got smushed.
interior lineman. And Nolan Smith just knocked him out of the game with a clean hit. And it completely screwed up the Packers the rest of that game.
Yeah.
Like I think in terms of, we always talk about the most important plays on that Super Bowl run. That is way up there. Like they were completely discombobulated with their offensive line right away because Nolan Smith, a pulling guard, he absolutely destroyed him with a clean hit. So that is where I think Nolan Smith is. I don't know if he's ever going to get to the top 10 in terms of like just getting all of those sacks, but I'm pretty sure as long as he's healthy, he's going to be like a winning, versatile type of player.
Yeah, and those types of plays that you just talked about, like altering the course of a game with a legal hit knockout, like those things don't show up in a stat sheet. They're not going to get you on Jeremy Fowler's, top 10 edge rushers in the league, but if it results in a parade down Broad Street, who gives a bleep? Absolutely.
Okay, one more before our next break, and this is the other position where the Eagles do not have a player ranked. Do you know what it is?
I don't know. How has he completed his safety?
Keep going. Yeah, you were there.
Safety.
Okay. Yeah, and obviously we've talked about it with the draft. I feel like safety is a tougher position to rank. Like you could tell me, I looked at that list and there weren't. Some of the names, you're like, okay, sure, yeah, those guys are there. I mean, they don't play for very good defenses. Some of them, the Buda Bakers and some of these guys. I mean, you can tell me, okay, Kyle Hamilton, that's the best safety in football. Sure, yeah, 100%, right?
Jordan Davis, Kyle Hamilton show. Let's go. Let's get into it. No,
I don't want to do that.
I'm just kidding.
Won the Super Bowl, so it's okay. But Kyle Hamilton, like clearly a very versatile player, somebody who's good. That's a harder position to rank. I feel like at the safety position, you're kind of just looking for competence. It's nice if you have a star, but if you have a good rock solid player who does not make a ton of mistakes, I think Reed Blankenship we might podcast with us a little bit. So maybe I am a little biased. I think he certainly fits that bill.
He comes up with turnovers. He's a playmaker. Like he might not be on this list because he's not the sexy name, but I think he led the team in turnovers last year. ?
He's so good at catching interceptions down by the ground. It's unbelievable. It's the same one. It's like the quarterback throws the ball over the linebacker's head like a slot receiver on an inside route, and Reed Blankenship is diving and making a pretty difficult catch every time. He's great at that.
You don't respect competent safety play until you're without it. Like when you're with like a sieve back there, that's just like, they get taken advantage of. They get picked on deep. They're blowing assignments. Like that can ruin a season so quickly. But when you have a guy like Reed Blankenship, like you just have competency with the occasional playmaking ability. Probably never going to be on one of these lists because there are some sexy names at the position. But I'll take him out on my football team every day of the week.
Absolutely. Now
now he's one of the leaders of the team too, which is like another plus for the position.
To me, I am much less worried about Reed. I'm worried about the position, but it doesn't have to do with Reed. I mean, you had CJ last year, and it's like, all right, you have two guys who are pretty good, right? And they clearly worked well off of each other. Even let's remove CJ and the sort of toughness, irritant factor that he provides, which I think can be very important for a team.
Sure.
Just having two competent players back there is pretty important, and we don't know who the other guy next to Reed is.
Yeah, I'd be full. Look, if you're worried about your second safety position as your big area of concern, you're probably in a pretty good spot. But
it is a good spot.
I don't know who it's going to be. Is Sidney Brown finally going to, kind of step up and take the job? Is our boy McCollum going to run it back with another?
I think it's going to be Drew Mukuba.
Is it Drew Mukuba, the second round pick, right? Second round pick?
Yeah. Out of Texas. Yep.
I blacked out there for a minute. I hope.
By the way, good thing that the NFL, like their second round picks are just second round picks. Like in MLB, it's like, all right, yeah, we took this guy in the 8th round,
but he was slotted for the second.
but he's clearly our second best player.
But we're going to pay him more.
And I promise you that makes sense. Guys, what are we doing?
Yeah, Fisher, the high school pitcher in the 7th round. He's a top 50 talent, but nobody wanted to touch him until the 7th round because the Phillies had a certain amount of money left to pay. Like, what?
At least with Drew Mukuba, you're like, all right, that's who they took in the second round.
And this is what he's making.
That's who they thought was the next best player.
You don't even have to negotiate a contract. I would hope. I kind of want to see Drew Mukuba just take it. You know what I mean? Like, because that means he's beating out a Sidney Brown who has 2 years of playbook knowledge, well, at least a year and a half of Vic Fangio defense knowledge as like a base. If Drew Mukuba just comes in and out athleticisms and understands the defense that quickly, I think you're all of a sudden in a pretty decent situation.
See, I think it's going to be more understanding the defense because Sidney Brown, look, just from watching him play both a little bit at the end of that disastrous 2023 season, nice interception return against Arizona in that game.
Was last year when he fought the Giants, or was that the year prior? Remember, like when it spilled into the like tunnel a little bit?
I don't remember that exactly. I mean, he was fighting people on special teams pretty much the entire year. I thoroughly enjoyed Sidney Brown.
Yeah.
So I feel like
you need a couple unhinged guys.
From what we have seen from Sidney Brown, my guess is that his highs are going to be higher than Drew Mukuba's, where like he has the ability to probably blitz sometimes and blow up somebody in the run game, but it's like that position is, can you not make big mistakes, right? Can you what is your worst play versus your best play?
And how many boneheaded decisions and penalties are you going to pick up along the way?
I'm a little worried about Sidney Brown not faring so great with that, and just because he's just trying too hard to absolutely destroy
he wants to deliver snot bubbles on every single play more than he wants to make like the sound football boring play.
So we'll see. But yeah,
I hope Drew Mukuba takes it. Like that's how I would love to see that. But the Vic Fangio defense, as we saw for the first 4 weeks last year before it, kind of finally clicked for everybody, it can be a little tough to pick up. So if he picks it up and Vic Fangio gives them the blessing out of camp, I think the Eagles all of a sudden are like in a better safety situation than I would have guessed.
I think so. And I think the key point, what you said too, like if we're talking about the second safety as being the biggest issue, like that's a pretty good problem. It's something that the Eagles are going to have to work around, but I think it's funny. The Matt Ishbia, the Suns owner, a couple years ago said he was like 27 teams would trade with us. The salary cap was all jacked up. They didn't make the playoffs. Actually, 27 teams would trade with the Eagles. Everybody made fun of him. Not even 27 teams. 30 teams would trade with the Eagles.
And think of it like there's 3 real kind of camp battles, I guess, for starting spots. It's right guard, it's off-ball linebacker, and it's the safety spot. And
cornerback too.
Oh, and well,
you're just assuming Keely's going to get it.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty
2 of those 3 positions were addressed in the first and second round of the draft. So, like, credit to Howie and the front office for keeping this youth pipeline like pumping, because Jahad Campbell should step right in. Win that
It feels
job.
like off-ball linebacker is a competition until Jahad Campbell's healthy.
Yes.
I'd be surprised.
So he's likely going to take that, and if Mukuba can beat out Brown or McCollum, then he's going to take that. And all of a sudden, if you hit on those 2, your holes on defense are plugged, and your entire defense is under the age of 28?
They're going to get expensive pretty soon. They're very young right now, but they're going to get expensive pretty soon.
And Howie's prepared for the bread man to get his bread.
Well, I think he spent this entire offseason preparing
pretty
for
much.
It. Yeah. Okay. So let's take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and wrap up with the position rankings. Guys, first let's hear from our presenting sponsor, Dudat Dental. Guys, your smile says a lot, and let's introduce you to a team that helps you say exactly what you want with your smile. Meet the Dudat Dental Group. This is the team trusted to care for one of our city's greatest assets, and that's the team we're talking about right now, the Philadelphia Eagles. Now entering their 5th season as the official dentist of the Philadelphia Eagles, Dr. D and his team have proudly served Philadelphia and its fans for 20 years. They do it all, from robotic implant surgery to Invisalign and veneers, emergencies, and so much more. Locally owned and operated, Dr. D is a proud graduate of North Penn High School and the Temple University School of Dentistry. His commitment to the health and confidence of our community runs deep. So whether you're an MVP or a lifelong fan, this is the team you want caring for your smile. So guys, check them out at PhiladelphiaEaglesDentist.com and discover how you can smile like the birds.
I'm just giggling to myself over here as I make a Jackson Dart screenshot of his face. You know where Jackson Dart, who isn't cool, will never be? Parks Casino, because that's where it's cool to be this summer. Parks Casino is right there in Street Road in Bensalem. It's the nexus of the tri-state area. It's easy to get to from everywhere. The Turnpike, 95, Route 1, anywhere you are, Parks Casino is close by. And whether your favorite team wins or not, or it's a down week from the sports calendar this week, there's always ways to win on the BetParks online casino app. Check out the brand new casino games like Huff and More Puff, Fireblaze Sky Queen, a BetParks exclusive, and the only app I use to play my favorite casino games right there in the palm of my hand. You can play blackjack, roulette, craps, poker, baccarat, and hot online slots like Cash Eruption, 88 Fortune, and Cleopatra online slots. New users can get up to $1,000 in casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Go to betparks.com and download the app right now and enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino right there at your fingertips. You must be 21 and in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for BetParks. You love to play, you play to win, you bet with BetParks. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome back to the PHLY Eagles Show, presented by Dudat Dental. And, James, we have a few more positions to run through. We went a little bit longer on some of the other positions.
Yeah.
But the Eagles,
It's probably my fault.
No, I mean, like sometimes
Kind of all over the place today, real scattered-brained.
Sometimes you got to watch. Oh, I guess we could get to
This is my cousin Mike in Germany.
to a super chat from Mike in Germany. Yeah, paying with the euro there, it looks like.
What does he say here? Do you guys ever rip a hose during the ad reads? To translate that, I believe that means take a pee. Oh, was he talking about Bo's pant size?
I've never heard that. Rip a hose. I'm going to say that all the time. All right, guys, I got to rip a hose. My friends would be like, is he the weirdest guy in the world?
So thank you, Michael Gidgout from Germany. He might be in Seattle this weekend. We'll find out, I think, in the coming days.
He's going to be ripping some hose in rip the hose in the bay.
Mike is known to rip a hose anywhere.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
He's one of those types.
That's great.
Yeah. So
All right.
thank you, Mike, for
Thank
the
you,
super
Mike.
chat.
Thank you for the super chat. Okay, let's talk about Dallas Goedert, another guy who knows how to rip a hose.
Let's get a little thumbs up in the YouTube page for ripping hoses.
Dallas Goedert. Still ranked 9th.
Okay, I didn't see this one. I would say he still had a chance to get in there. I mean, the biggest knock against Dallas Goedert is availability. It's just like, unfortunately, every year for what seems like 4 to 6 games, like it's never a season-ending type of injury. It's always like, you know, that bone break in the forearm or, you know, an ankle sprain.
It's
or
like
something.
almost too physical.
Yeah, and he's a beast when he plays. I just saw he was at Tight End University. I saw his like school photo, you know, where they do the chalkboard, like school photos. You know those? When like the kids go to school.
I haven't seen it, but yeah, I understand.
Yeah, he was like year 6. You know, what do you want to be when you grow up? You know.
By the way, did you see Taylor Swift at Tight End University?
She was there, yeah.
Man, they must be really in love.
Yeah.
Oof.
They're going to get married, right?
Tight end, you.
They got to be getting married at this point. But yeah, so it was good to see Dallas Goedert. I think he's still, you know, worthy of a top 10 tight end. Like he's a beast in the run game. He's a great blocker, as a professor will tell you, Dainez.
MVP.
Yeah. I mean, he makes plays. The stiff arm last year in the playoffs was just like
Unbelievable.
an iconic Eagles play. He's a great player. I just for once hope he can string together 16 or 17 games, whatever it may be.
Yeah, it's just funny that a top 10 player at the position had to like be in a long contract standoff this year, and eventually had to take a pay cut.
And Jalen, credit to him. Apparently, I think it was Dallas that said, you know, like Jalen worked me into coming, like talked to me and worked and kind of convinced me to come back for one more year. So Jalen, great leader.
Told him the standard was the standard.
Yeah.
Take less money, man. No.
Yeah, I mean, another chance to win. You set yourself up. He could still get, what is he, 29?
30.
30. There's a chance maybe at another 2-year cash grab out there for him after this year if he can put up the numbers, which he's a really good tight end.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
I was not looking forward to this year without Dallas Goedert. I was very glad he came back.
Me too, and we've been over that. That was it was a scary few weeks there, but they got him back. It seems like he's okay with coming back. Yeah, I mean, I was a little surprised to see him in the top 10 after just not a ton of production last year, and some of that is not even just some of that's not even injury. It's just that they ran the ball a lot last year, right?
But I mean, that is part of the tight end position.
Yeah,
I can't say you can give all of Saquon's credit to Dallas Goedert, but he had an impact on that.
Okay. So Dallas Goedert, top 10 tight end still. Hopefully he stays there, but he's holding on to his position. It's an older position.
It's a pretty juiced group, but like it's good. I think there's a lot of good tight ends in this group. I mean, if Mark Andrews is 6th on the list,
he completely lost a playoff game.
He did. He totally soiled himself.
Poor guy.
Isaiah Likely 8, Goddard 9, David Njoku 10.
Baltimore, the land of tight ends.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
That's tight end to you. Okay, interior offensive linemen, and so that's guards and centers.
I would imagine Landon Dickerson. Oh, this is a combined centers and guards into the same top 10. I would say Jurgens didn't make it, and Dickerson did. I'll give him 10.
Dickerson was 5.
Oh, okay. Better than I expected. Bad job by me.
And Jurgens was an honorable mention. So he was, in that 15 range.
Really impressive.
Which is pretty good considering
there's three positions on each
that
team.
You're going here. Yeah,
that's really impressive.
Not just quarterbacks. The players listed ahead of Landon. 2 Chiefs, Creed, Humphrey, Trey Smith, who just got paid today.
And
$92 million over 4 years, which is a little bit more than Landon.
He got $20 million more guaranteed than Landon, but as we were talking about with players of this caliber, it doesn't really matter. They're going to see their contracts out because they're that good.
A lot more guaranteed money, but I think both of those guys are going to get pretty much. I mean, we'll see. Landon obviously has the injury scare, but
which I'll be honest, I'm a huge injury worrier when you have a history like that. He's kind of put it out of my mind.
He gets banged up during the year, but yeah, I mean he's been good. I mean I certainly think he would not have lasted as long as he did in that draft.
Oh, he was a first rounder.
If
100%.
people knew he was going to be as healthy.
Maybe you can ask Fran. I think you guys are doing the show Friday. Where he would have gone? Was he top 15? Was he top 20? I know he was definitely a first rounder if it wasn't for the last knee injury. But I wonder how high people around the league had him.
I got a kick out of the write-ups that Fowler had for the 2 Chiefs players. Creed Humphrey, number 1, too. And it was like, well, he had a bad Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl was bad, but he's pretty good. It's like, Super Bowl was bad. Yeah,
it was bad all around.
Wasn't I know Joe Tooney was probably the biggest culprit there, but
now he's in Chicago protecting Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I think, isn't he playing guard, though?
Yeah, I think he's guard.
Well, that's a better position.
The Bears had to do something out there.
By the way, Baltimore and Buffalo in particular, the fact that they let the Chiefs win that conference last year,
I know.
they just weren't that good.
No, they weren't.
They just weren't very good.
Josh Allen, in the quarterback rankings, he's up there, but if he doesn't get over the hump very soon, it's going to be one of the great, Marino territory. I think I just said the word 5 times.
Okay.
But there it is again.
That's 6.
He's got to get to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He has to.
I agree. Okay, so that is the interior O-line. We're going to run through these a little more speed round style. We have, I guess we only have 2 left. Offensive tackles. This is a good one for the Eagles.
Lane Johnson has to be. If he's not top 3, I think the list is garbage.
He is exactly top 3, number 3.
Who's ahead of him?
Tristan Wirfs and Penei Sewell.
I think Lane Johnson deserves to be number 1.
So I am not exactly Brandon
I'm not
Thorne.
going to lose sleep over this, but to me, there's hardly a better offensive lineman I've ever seen than Lane Johnson.
I'm not exactly Brandon Thorne, but I do think Lane Johnson has an argument to just be the best tackle,
yes,
the best single
absolutely.
one. And one of my favorite stats, and by the way, this is another example of me being hypocritical and citing PFF when it fits my narrative.
That's the way you use it.
And poo-pooing it when it does not fit my narrative. Lane Johnson compared to Sewell in particular. Now Wirfs is up there with Lane and Mailata.
He's better than Penny.
Those three guys, the two Eagles guys and Wirfs, they get left on an island more than anybody in football. They do. Honestly, like when you see like Mitchell Schwartz, you know that guy is the former.
We talked to him at the Super Bowl, I believe.
He has said
no,
so. I
brother,
believe
Jeff,
Brandon Thorne had said this too. They think Lane is still the best right tackle in the game.
I mean, I saw something.
They're like, look, Sewell is good. Like he's going to be
really
a
good
top 3, top 4 guy. But they're like, let's be honest, Lane is better than him.
And usually,
they obviously study it way more than I do.
The left defensive ends are better than the rights around the league. There was advanced stats last year that Jordan Mailata was having a better year than Penei Sewell. Let alone Lane Johnson. So
it's interesting. Mailata feels like, and he is awesome, and the Eagles, it's just an embarrassment of riches.
It really is insane.
Did I say where Mailata was?
No.
He's ranked number 5.
Wow.
And I mean, when you look at the names, you know, I get it. You know, I think he's clearly a top 10 guy. I don't know where he fits. So anyway, I think Mailata is
3 and 5.
There's a little bit of a difference between that top tier and the next tier. But Jordan Mailata, the fact that you have, let's say it's even just somewhere in the top 10. The fact that you have 2 of those guys in the top 10, that's such a team building advantage for the Eagles.
And thank you, Chip Kelly, for Lane Johnson, and thank you, the Miami Dolphins, for taking Deion Jordan. I'll forever owe you for that one. But to find Mailata the way they did.
Thank you for the Australian Rugby League for
like
giving
a
us
7th round pick, a throwaway gamble pick.
One of the greatest player development success stories you could ever have. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. Speaking of Lane, we do have a video that Julia grabbed for us earlier today, Rich.
Of Lane?
Of Lane.
Okay, let's see it.
He is making this look far too easy. This man... I mean, our calculation...
705 pounds?
And that's only the weight. We don't know what the actual rack itself weighs. I mean, that might be upwards of 800 pounds. He's walking like I walk my dog. Like just a walk in the park for him, just picking up 800 pounds and
that
going.
honestly looks like a place you would walk your dog. You
Yeah,
know?
it does look like very.
It's like a park, like a nature preserve.
Like this dude is a freak. I've said it before. I don't know if it's a take or not.
That hurts me to just watch.
I think he's the greatest Eagle ever.
That's crazy. 705 pounds. Now, in fairness, I don't have like a good frame of reference for what.
I just moved an armoire this past weekend.
What is that move even called?
And I thought I was going to die. And an armoire, I don't think it was 705 pounds. What is that move called?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Just walking with a bunch of weight on you barefoot. What is that move called?
I don't know. It's pretty cool though.
Any
he just
any
makes
fitness
that-
people in the chat, you wanna give me a name? And by the way, I will vet those, so I will know if you're saying a fake name. Yeah.
And cousin Grace says that guy hates wearing shoes. I'm with him. I want to be barefoot everywhere in life. So yeah, more power to you, Lane. Stay barefoot.
How was the armoire? Was there any tough corners you had to get it around? Tight spaces?
This house we went to pick. My wife found it on Facebook Marketplace, and she sent me out to the main line to get it. This house, I looked it up. It's like worth $3.1 million. It was insane. It wasn't too bad. I borrowed my buddy Wall's pickup truck, and we went and picked it up. Not too bad. The hardest part was getting it up the stairs of my house because it went from first floor in that house, which I was very thankful for, to upstairs. I had to take the brunt of it down below. But yeah, it wasn't too bad, but it was heavy.
What a great feeling when you finally rest that thing where you need
great.
to. I mean, you're probably like sweating way too much and you're
Breathing
way
real
too
heavy.
tired. But
Rich, we got to go to overtime. I was very happy. As a good friend, I paid my buddy in beer and pizza.
love it.
So we did a little Conchi brewing and then ordered some pizza.
So
it was a good time.
So that's a good friend. I'd like to shout out another good friend.
Oh, yeah?
A guy, well, and it wasn't precisely for me. I told you, I went on a vacation recently, and myself and a couple friends, we got back very late. It was like it landed at 2:30. The flights got delayed, so it landed back in Philly at 2:30. And this guy, he picked up his friends at 2:30.
Wow.
Now, I wasn't going to the same place, so I had to go pay for an Uber, which I thought was totally normal. I was actually happy Ubers were still running at the time at 2:30. But yeah, I mean, man, picking your friend up at the airport. I know that's the big Seinfeld thing, but at 2:30, wow, that is
above and beyond.
dedication. So shout out to Vic.
That is impressive, Vic. Good work by you.
Okay, we have another super chat too before we get to
Is
the
this
last
about
group.
ripping a hose?
Better be. Could be all alone, but I still think Jahad Campbell gets moved to edge and gets after the QB while Trotter Jr. holds down the fort for Dean. And that is from Matthew Greenwood.
Thank you, Matthew.
It would be a good outcome.
Yeah, I mean,
if he's good at it.
yeah, if he's playing, you are a little thin at edge, so I get where Matthew's like coming from. If he shows that skill in camp, one, it means that Trotter Jr. has stepped up. So that's a really good outcome in itself. And two, I think it would say that Jahad Campbell has shown Vic Fangio a great pass rushing ability. So, like, that's a good outcome.
I almost think Jahad Campbell is more likely to crack like the top. Like if the Eagles are the next Eagles absolute star pass rushing defensive end, he's probably a little more likely than Nolan Smith. I think Nolan Smith has a much higher floor at that position than Jahad Campbell.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think the unknown factor.
I'm really excited for this kid.
Sure, 100%. I think he's going to be good at least one of these positions.
Yes, absolutely. I think long term, from talking to Zach and Bo and Fran, is long term is probably edge rusher. I think short term they might covet keeping him at that linebacker position, but we'll see.
Well, and look, that linebacker position, the Eagles, they have a guy in the top 10 at that
Shocking.
position already. He certainly was not at the top 10 at that position last year. He was not even at that position last year, and that is Zach Bond, Jamie.
I mean, we were sitting here last year, and somebody was dumb enough to take Devin White snaps over Zach Bond snapped.
Had to know a Pro Bowl season was coming.
That was me who took Devin White snap count over Zach Bond
on one of our flagship shows.
What a dumbass.
The 2024 defensive snaps draft. Be on the lookout for 2025. It's only a couple weeks away.
I said this to Anthony the other day, but it's like wild to me that we're sitting here, cornerbacks, linebackers, running backs. We're talking about the Eagles having top tier across the league talent at those three positions. Those are often cornerback and running back. You have peaks and valleys. There's been some great running backs here. I'm not trying to take it away. But like to have now in present day 2025 football, the top running back, a defensive player of the year linebacker, and one of the best young cornerbacks in the league, it's really unbelievable.
If you told me they had those positions in 2010 football, I felt like the team wouldn't have been as good, but I feel like the league shifted so far in the spread offense direction that the Eagles have shown, not just them, there have been other teams as well, that those positions are absolutely critical.
Yeah.
Okay, so Zach Bond, where do you think he ranks on the...
I didn't look at this one. I would say he's top 5. If he finished as a defense player of the year for Canada, I'm going to go with 2 or 3. I'll say 2.
Number 3.
3. Ooh, Warner
and Roquan Smith, who were the top 2 last year. I think those are a little bit of like legacy picks.
Yeah,
Not to say that they weren't great
More
last
of a body
year.
of work.
I think you could probably stack up. No, Warner was good last year, and he was playing with a hurt foot.
Yeah,
as well,
he's a stud.
Which was impressive. He's also, he's kind of like, I mean, I hate the 49ers so much, but when you hear him
he's all over the field. He's everywhere.
when you hear him interviewed too, he's just like a really cool guy.
Yeah.
too. Yeah. It's
He's a
bummer.
hard guy to hate.
I like him.
He flies around the football field. He's a stud.
So anyway,
I'll take it. Zach Bond 3rd, A-okay in my book.
But it's also a weird position. We talked about this with defensive tackle earlier, where there's a difference between being a top 3 guy versus you go down this list. Number 5, Frankie Louvu.
Oof.
Come on, man.
Oof. Bad look.
Frankie Louvu, he's tricking everybody.
He's jumping over lines.
It's like the people that thought Patrick Beverly was good at defense. The Russell Westbrook. He tricked y'all.
Yeah.
Come on.
I would have bet good money that Louvu was the reason why the tush push was banned this offseason.
It's good
But Frankie couldn't get it done.
at late hits.
Yeah.
But the number 5, anyway, I think there is a pretty sizable difference between Zach Bond and Frankie Louvu.
I would say so, yeah.
Zach Bond did not give up 55 points in the NFC Championship game.
No, he did not.
Yeah. So
That was a great beatdown of the Commanders.
oh, what a game. Oh, man. Just first play, toss to Saquon, takes it to the house. I mean, come on.
It was game over. Lights out.
Yeah.
I mean, the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl, like just absolute beatdowns was really enjoyable, Rich.
So
I had a good time.
one underrated thing from the NFC Championship game, because I've rewatched it over
Have
and
you?
over again.
I don't think I have.
So Mekhi Becton, he had celebrations with, and good luck to Mekhi in Los Angeles. He had celebrations with all of the players after touchdowns. Like if you watch in the Super Bowl, him and AJ Brown kind of do a dance where they slide after it's over. So he had a dance with Saquon Barkley, ready for the NFC Championship game. I think it was on Saquon Barkley's second. Did Saquon score 3 times in that game? I forget. It was either the first or the second touchdown. He scores, but it's still early in the game. It's still late first quarter, early second quarter. And they had a dance where at the end of it, like they would like swing a baseball bat or whatever. So after the first touchdown, you'll notice, or after the earlier touchdown, you'll notice Mekhi Becton wants to do the dance, and Saquon's like, not yet, not yet. Like we still got a lot of football to play. I don't want to lose this game and have this made fun of. After his final touchdown, I forget if that was the 48th point or the 55th point, whatever it was. They said, okay, I can do the dance with you.
Yeah.
So that's
I think
that's
we're
how
safe
easy
now.
it was to score on Frankie Louvu.
Old Shark Gallery says, unbelievable. We pulled the starters out of both games.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And little Frankie Louvu love in the chat. Colin says, Frankie Louvu is low-key awesome. I wish he was a bird. And Matt Alari says, him and Jared Verse are both guys I hate but would love on the Birds.
I think Jared Verse is a better player than him.
Jared Verse is a stud.
Yeah.
He was officially hashtag my guy coming out of the draft last year.
I can't
And then they
get
got
on board
Quinyon
with you guys as much as, I mean, I guess Frankie Louvu, like
He's
you
a
put
very
him in
good
the
player.
CJGJ.
Yeah.
That's the
An
classic
instigator.
temperament. Yeah,
Yeah.
where you love him if he's on your team.
Yeah, sure.
I don't love him as a player. Anyway, let's. I guess that's it. We can wrap it up. I guess the other thing that was on ESPN, and thank you to the worldwide leader for providing us with content for today. Bill Barnwell had his top 25 teams.
So I did not read it. And you specifically
last-
told me to not read it. Of the last 25 years, I guess the question is, where do both Eagles teams land?
Where did the 2 Super Bowl teams land? And by the way, I'm gonna give you a hint.
I have some.
He did not just automatically rank the teams that won the Super Bowl as the highest teams.
Oh, okay. I would say this past year's Eagles team finishes top 5.
Yep.
I would say top 3.
Yep.
And I'm going to say
No, fourth. Sorry.
4th. Yeah. Okay. I was going to go as high as 2. I didn't think Bill Barnwell would give him number 1. I figure that's probably a Patrick Mahomes specific year team. But 4's.
It's actually the 2007 Patriots. He was like,
Oh, okay.
I don't really know about these rankings. Obviously, they're the best team before the Super Bowl, but they did not finish the job,
Yeah, that's true. When you lose the biggest game, that matters.
especially that bad Giants team. too.
Yeah,
What
seriously.
are you
I
doing?
worked that game too.
Anyway,
Ugh.
the 2017 team finished 5th as well. So Bill Barnwell, good for you.
4th and 5th.
4th and 5th. Hey, come on, man! You win the
Take
Super Bowl
that.
with your backup quarterback. That's pretty
Yeah.
good. Even if your backup quarterback's
That's a
the
little
man.
thumbs down coming for Bill Barnwell. Yeah, we appreciate that.
That's for him. That's not for us.
Yeah, that was not a Jamie and Rich thumbs down. That was a Bill Barnwell.
Anyway, Jeffrey Lurie, who was making the case, I believe, at owners' meetings that this was actually the best team. I do think that the one issue with this past team, and by the way, there's really no issues because they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And they fulfilled all of our dreams. They were a little bit weaker the first month of the year. The first month of the year, when you're looking back at the full season,
Sure.
yeah, I mean that first month was rough. Now I will say, after that first month,
Uber
it's
DeJean changed everything.
about as good as you can get. I mean, they were dominating teams for the rest of the year.
They really were. And the 5th place team, we just did our Eagles what if and Philadelphia what if as it's tomorrow, prime time, ZB and Fran after dark. I think Fran promised no pants. They're going to talk about the Eagles what ifs.
The other teams, they have like real what ifs. It's like, man, it'd
The
be
Eagles
nice
what ifs resulted in Super Bowls recently.
It's like, what if we won 3 Super Bowls instead of 2?
Yeah, one of them was the Bradbury penalty. I'm not ruining anything, but you almost have the D word on our hands. A little bit of a dynasty cooking.
Good stuff. Okay, that I think is it. Are we out of super chats, Julia? Was there one more? And it's good that we don't have super chats now.
You
People,
gotta rip a hose.
I do
how
have to
you
rip.
doing?
I do have to rip a hose. It's been drinking a lot of fluids in these 70 minutes.
Yeah,
So,
I think this is like 65 ounces of coffee for me today, plus a full water bottle. I might also join you in ripping a hose.
So I believe ZB and Fran are going to be in tomorrow.
Yes. Me and Anthony have a little something coming out at 2 o'clock at the normal scheduled time. And then at 7 o'clock, prime time edition, the Eagles top 10 what ifs. I'd like to say of all time, but we also didn't want to go back to like the Baker Bowl in 1932 and talk about like the Steagles and stuff. So
What if Bednarik didn't smoke that 8-heater before the game?
So we didn't go back that far. It's more modern era, but a lot of fun situations, and a lot of them end up, resulting in Super Bowls. So like the ripple effects of decisions over time.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you to all the sickos for hanging out with us on a Tuesday. Again, guys, we're just 1 week away from Eagles football and some new content. I believe ZB and Fran are with you the next 2 days.
Yes.
On the What If show and then another show. So I will see you guys on Friday. And I think I'll end it the way Bo always does. We love you.
We all silly like the mayor.